I wanted to come on here and talk about this situation involving Adele that recently happened. It actually happened I would say a couple weeks ago, where she attended this award show, and it was called the 2022 Brit Awards, and they said it was some kind of gender neutral award show. Never heard of it, really don't care about it. But she said something in her acceptance speech that had everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people in the academy pretty upset with her. But what she said should not have sparked this amount of outrage. And if you are a female, a biologically born female, this should catch you a little off guard. And I and so many other people who have talked about this before in the past and still and currently in the present have been warning a lot of women about what's slowly but surely occurring. So what happened was Adele was at this award show. She accepted this award and what she had won for, I think, her recent album. And she got up there. She said her thanks to whoever she had to thank. And she went and said that she loves being a woman. Of course, we all know Adele is a biologically born female, and she just said that she loves being a woman, in this industry and all of that. And guess who got upset? Those in the academy, especially those in Hall T. And then they started hitting her with the label of her being transphobic. I cannot make this up, and I'm not making this up because I'm going to read the article that's coming from page 6. And it reads, Adele is being accused of transphobia for declaring at a woke gender neutral award show that she loves being a woman. The Rolling in the Deep singer made the remark at Tuesday's Brit Awards as she collected the prize for Artist of the Year, a newly created category merging the old Best Male and Best Female Artist Awards. I understand why the name of this award has changed, but I really love being a woman and being a female artist. I do, she said to a huge cheers. So they basically changed the award to not acknowledge a female and a male. They merged it together so it could be gender neutral. This is also, like I said, this is the direction the world is headed in. And only a few of us have the balls to call it out. I'm really proud of us. I really, really am, she said. Despite support from the audience in London's huge O2 Arena, her comments quickly sparked outrage online, making her the latest high-profile figure accused of being a TERF, which stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. I've heard that term before, but I never knew what the full meaning was for that acronym. Please, no, Adele can't be a TERF, a staunch feminist performer named Jacob told his thousands of Twitter followers. The fact that he is a male feminist lets me know all I need to know. And first off, we got to ask in 2022, is this person even a male? Or are they one of those non-binary individuals who was born a male or born a female and decides to not identify by any gender? Or listen, it's confusing. I'm not even asking myself any more questions. Who would have thought Adele was a transphobe and would use her platform to call for the destruction of the trans community? How is she calling for the destruction of the trans community when all she got up there and said that she's proud to be a woman? These people are absolutely confused. Like really legit down to the molecular level confused. The same thing that they're coming at her with is the same thing they came at J.K. Rowling with. And how ironic, both of these are PC British born women. Because, they came at her neck because, she was basically saying, what is and what isn't. And they got mad at her about that. And Adele gets up and accept this award. And she said that she loves being a woman. And they get mad at her for even saying that. Are y'all hearing this? This is how the women get caught up in the crosshairs with the Hall T community. And specifically them. Because I realize they are the ones that make I'm noticing the common denominator of a lot of people's problems within the academy comes from that damn T. For the most part. A good 90% of their issues comes from them. All she said is that she loves being a woman, and they got so irate about that and called her a transphobe. Ladies out there listening, it has gotten to that point. where you can't even go out and declare that you love being a woman without them saying that you're a transphobe. They even have that thing, and I talked about this before. They even have it now where they're calling biologically born women who give birth, who have children, birthing persons. What? Birthing persons? I, as a man who know I cannot have birth children, am upset about that, of hearing that. That's an insult to the female biological makeup. Birthing persons? They don't even call them birthing women. And the thing is, why would you call it that? Because we know only women can give birth. So that's like, stating the obvious. But birthing persons, that's an insult because you're calling them a person. You're bypassing the fact that these are women. And see, the thing is, they're coming up with all these terminologies because they want to make those who are quote unquote non-binary or trans feel good. And it's only for them. That's a selfish way of looking at things. People, for the most part, are laughing at this, but I think down the line, this might not be no laughing matter. That's why you have to nip this in the bud right now from a serious standpoint. This is bigger than Adele. This is bigger than J.K. Rowling. And really, in all honesty, it's one thing that me as a guy can call this out, but I'm not the target. The women are. It should be more of the women out there who calls this out. But unfortunately, too many women got comfortable in allowing that lifestyle to get into their spaces. I said at the end of the day, a lot of these individuals who you allow to be around you and call themselves women aren't even women. They're still men masquerading as you and doing a very poor job of it, might I add. So some of this is your fault. There's only so much calling out that we can do. But when we call it out and we get called all kinds of names from not only them, but from the people who they're trying to replace, then it's like, what can you do? We're at a standstill. We're at a dead end, a stalemate. Don't worry, I'm going to keep calling it out because it's ridiculous behavior at the end of the day. That says, who would have thought Adele was a transphobe and would use her platform to call for the destruction of the trans community? I don't know how she's destroying them by saying this, but okay. Especially the confused teenagers, another longtime Twitter posted. Others complained that they had lost a lot of respect for Adele and would no longer spend a cent on her music. The attacks led many to spring to the 33-year-old star's defense. Thank you, Adele. Just thank you for speaking the two words being vilified. Women, a woman and female. Tweeted author and refugee campaign Anjali Rauf. Author and media consultant Jane Simons also said she didn't know whether to cry or scream at the latest attacks. A decade ago, if someone had said a woman would be criticized for the thought crime of saying she liked being a woman, I would have laughed at such a ludicrous suggestion. Now it is happening. In an op-ed in The Spectator, teacher Debbie Hayton said that Adele risked joining the group of talented women like Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, who I mentioned, who have been pursued and persecuted mercilessly simply for standing up for their sex. Adele's message to women and girls was inspirational. Here was a woman who has sold tens of millions of albums, telling the world she was proud to be a woman. That's something to celebrate, not condemn, she wrote. The teacher said that girls need role models, and last night Adele stepped up to the plate. For that, she deserves applause, even greater than adulation she received for her music. Yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is comical at this point. It really is. But like I said, it needs to be called out to allow it to continue to just slide. Those days are over. And like I said, some of the women out there have to take responsibility and accountability for allowing this to come into their spaces. And now this is what you have. Because you have this, you have them calling women birthing persons. You have them getting into women's sports. It's everywhere now. And then they are expecting you to accept it. And if you don't, you get hit with the labels like she did. It even got to the point when it comes down to those in the academy that says that, they were asking, and for some reason, it was mainly targeted to black women. Because they have to throw the homophobic label onto black men, but they have to throw another label onto black women so they can find a way to blanket on black people entirely. Where they would ask black women, would you date a bisexual man? Basically someone who sleeps with both men and women. And when the women said no in droves, you had some of them come out, and it was one tweet in specific that literally stood out to me. She basically was saying, she mentioned Lil Bootsy, because you know how he is, and saying that, black women, they'll support people who are like that, but they won't sleep with them. And it's like every time they say something like that, a little piece of Lil Bootsy just hops right out of them. So yeah, and I talked about that on my channel several times as well. But I said I just have to mention it again. Like, they're coming after you. See, at one point it was just like they will only come at the men. They always say that black men are the most homophobic and whatever. And we just kind of like, okay, keep talking. It is what it is. But now they're coming after you, and in droves. Like, look at what they said about Adele. They call her a transphobe because she had the nerve to say out of her mouth that she loves being a woman. Imagine it has gotten to this point where a woman can't even say she loves being a woman without being attacked from the academy, specifically those in Hall T, and calling her transphobic because she doesn't accommodate their feelings. It's real spooky and weird out here. So now I guess they said they're going to throw her into the same category as J.K. Rowling. And I hope Adele stands firmly on her square, doesn't go back on what she said. Because she should be proud to be a woman. Just like I'm proud to be a man. And it's crazy because you have a lot of those people in that community who claim that they're proud and prideful and happy to be whatever it is that they are. But they don't want people to be happy and have pride and be proud of who they are. Because somehow it imposes onto them, and I don't know how. Like, her saying that is destroying the trans community. So you're telling me that women have that much power in saying that they love being a woman, that is destroying the trans community? That's extremely powerful. And if that's the case, well, women keep on saying it. They need to be brought down a peg or two. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you are new, make sure that you hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video or go live.